Hello, and welcome to Lecture 2 in our course Mastering Talent Acquisition for Senior Medical Affairs Leaders. As a reminder of the first lecture, we tried to answer 4 questions in order to pave the way to the hiring process of people managers in medical affairs. We answered questions like why effective management is crucial for the success of the medical organizations. And also, we discussed why people management in medical affairs is different than any other people management in other departments or functions. And also, we discussed the challenges that might face a newly hired medical affairs manager. Today, we will discuss the right approach to the hiring process of people managers in medical affairs. In this context, we will discuss which strategies should we consider, which will lead then to identifying the skill set needed for the opened position. This is critical to ensure that at a later stage, the interview process is 100% free of any type of bias, and that the only decisive factor will be the qualifications of the selected candidate who should be the best fit for this opened position. Here is a 4 steps approach to the hiring process that we can follow in order. 1. Understanding the strategies. 2. Identifying the skill set needed to execute these strategies. 3. Prepare for the assessment. 4. The interviews. Today, we will focus on understanding the strategies and identifying the skill set needed for the position of a medical manager in medical affairs. So let's start by examples of different strategies that may shape your decision when hiring a manager or a team leader in medical affairs. Remember that these are just examples, but the strategies may vary depending on many factors like mission, vision, and the operating model of your organization, and may also vary depending on the priorities during a certain phase in the long-term strategy of your department and your organization. So let's have a look on some of these examples of strategies that can shape your decision to identify the skill set needed. First, a strategy depending on the evolution of medical affairs in your organization, or the integration of technology in the medical operations, or, for example, the patient-centric approach you are adopting, and of course, the culture and values alignment with the organizational vision and goals, and the strategy of collaborative partnerships with healthcare professionals and healthcare entities, and the strategy to focus on the educational approach, and the strategy to bridge the gap between research and development and commercialization, and the strategy to be 100% compliant with global and local regulation and industry rules, and the strategy to adopt a data-driven decision-making approach and performance metrics. And again, another example here is fostering the culture of feedback for the sake of continuous improvement. So these are examples of the strategies that can help you identify the skill set needed for the position. After highlighting the strategies, the next step is to identify the skill set needed for the position in order to execute these strategies. In the context of hiring a medical manager in medical affairs, you have to consider 2 different types of skill sets. Number 1, the general skill set for any managerial position. Number 2, A medical affairs skill set that is focused on managing field medical teams and executing medical initiatives. So let's start with the general skill set for any managerial positions. And they have in this skill set almost 15 category that we need to ensure checked during the assessment and the interview processes. First, the experience and the track record. Example, previous managerial experience, success in leading and developing teams, handling challenging situations or conflicts. 2, leadership qualities, the ability of the candidate to inspire and motivate teams. Vision for the team and the organization. The manager has decision-making skills. Imagine that you hire a manager who cannot take decisions. He or she will be a burden in the middle between the field medical team and you. Interpersonal skills, effective communication, high emotional intelligence, ability to develop and maintain relationships, which will serve a strategy like the cross-functional collaboration. Technical experience, understanding the business acumen of this role, and he or she will have the qualifications and certification needed to enable him to do the role. The cultural fit, alignment with the company's culture and values, the ability to adapt to different organization changes. Problem-solving skills, the ability to handle challenges, having analytical thinking, solution-oriented approach, feedback and development, willingness to provide constructive feedback to others, commitment to personal and team development. Number 8, team dynamics, ability to work with diverse teams, understanding team strengths and areas for improvement, the team. Identifying integrity and ethics parameters and following them. Adaptability and flexibility in general, strategic thinking, performance management, recruitment skills, because this position or this new manager will need to recruit MSLs and field medical roles later on. Training and development, commitment to continuous learning, ability to identify the needs and provide opportunities for those who need them. Conflict resolution, skills in mediating disputes, maintaining positive team environment, resolving conflicts, and so on. So these are examples of the skill sets that are needed to be checked during the assessment or the interview for hiring any managerial position. And if we move from here and start talking now, let's take example of a medical specific skill set. And before starting, we need to remember that this is a unique skill set for medical affairs managers because of the complexity and the wide circle of relationships required from this position. So, an example of these skills, understanding both the scientific and the business dimension of the pharmaceutical landscape. This is a must for any medical manager in medical affairs. The flexibility and adaptability and innovation in a dynamic environment. The cultural attributes and sensitivity in diverse settings. The psychometric balance for effective team management, and I will come to this point later. Compliance and ethical standards. Effective communication and presentation skills. High emotional intelligence, conflict resolution and negotiation skills, analytical skills for data interpretation and decision-making process, leadership and mentoring capabilities, project management and organizational skills. So these are very important. I want to go back to the psychometric balance, and many organizations they have this as a step to assess candidates before hiring in any position. And frankly speaking, this is my recommendation too. I would like that psychometric analysis to be an integral step of the assessment process in order to ensure that we are taking the right decision and selecting the appropriate candidate that has the cultural attributes and values of the organization. Here is a table highlighting the strategies and the skill set that was identified based on these strategies. And of course, you can draft your own table, but I think that this is a very helpful step to demonstrate the right approach when hiring a people manager in the organization. So that's it for today. And before leaving you, I want you to remember this approach, the 4 steps guide to approach the hiring process of people managers. And as long as you are committed to follow these steps one by one, you will be able or will be more likely to have the ability to take the right decision. First, you have to understand which strategies that is governing your organization now, and based on these strategies and the need to execute them, you will identify the skill set needed. In this context, you will look to the general skill set that is required for any managerial position, and then you will see the customized or the specific skill set needed for a medical position. And the third step will be preparing for the assessment and conducting the interviews needed. And this will be the topic of our next lecture. Thank you again for your time. Really appreciated, and see you soon.